sequence, and we're going to go right into our chilaxin. And chilaxin is kind of our #1 position. So even if you just got people into a sumo, which is #1, and then jumped right to #4, that could be an entire hour class. Okay? Yeah, 2 and 3. I usually give people a break from the underarms and come into the forward folds. Break, you can either come into a standing sequence or a forward fold. And then 3 is kind of the most advanced in terms of having to engage and the knees. From chilaxin, that's where the name chilaxin arms comes from. This is the full chilaxin pose. Our mantra is hips heavy, heart open towards the sky, big arch to the elbows flaring out wide, pulling our fingers apart, and they're yanking on their head. Make sure their elbows are wide and their gaze is up towards the sky. Is what's going to open up the hips. It's pretty amazing how this in itself, just hanging and using. So we're going to come into similar poses that we just did. The first one is called seated pigeon. So we're going to take our right foot and place it on top of our left thigh. Just use momentum to get there. We can stay in chilaxin arms, or we can intensify the pose by hugging. So we're going to inhale, open our arms wide. Exhale, hug and squeeze the leg loops towards you. There you go. And as you squeeze, lift the chest, keep the head in line with the body for this version. Inhale, blossom for a version of star. Open the heart, push the hip. If you flex the foot back, it keeps a nice alignment. So flex the top foot back, everybody. And it keeps a nice alignment for the knee. Inhale, open up. Exhale, hug and squeeze. Just undulate back and forth a few times. Let that feel good. The more you push your hips down, the deeper the stretch. Inhale, open up. Let's stay here along the leg loop. Keep the foot flexed if you can. And then from here, push the hips down. Open up the heart. Even more. Push the hips down. If they floated away, just anchor them back down. Yeah. Sometimes, yeah, we have to kind of like wiggle to get into it. Now, if we want to go a little bit further, we can come into a twist. Left hand is going to reach for our right foot. And then, beautiful. Maybe roll the ankle around. Support the head with that leg up. Come back through swagger. So chilaxin to swagger is kind of our go-to for resetting the spine. And then once we have had a little fun with it, play with it, you can extend the arms and legs and really get a little bit more momentum in the space. We're going to use that momentum to completely, and then inhale, blossom for star. Exhale, squeeze and hug. Stretch. And then when you're ready, inhale, open again. Exhale, squeeze. So even this is enough, beginner person. Then we're going to open up for star, back to chilaxin arms, extend the leg, just let it slide up the leg loop, keeping the foot flexed, push the hips down. Now we can add a twist if it feels good, maybe anchor down a little bit more, really ground through the sit bones. You're going to have your right hand grab for the, all the way around the other side, so you don't lose your hug. You're going to have your right hand grab for the left leg. Go ahead and open it up, extended leg twist. And if you need to support your head with your hips, let that feel good. Okay, lift that foot, come on out. Gets ingrained in the memory. And then we're going to come through our chill flow, or a version of it. So we're going to come back through center. We're going to go ahead and open our arms to a T. Exhale, hug the leg loops towards you, both of them for a floating child's pose. Inhale, blossom for star, hips heavy, heart open, head relaxed back. And then go ahead and squeeze for child's pose. Inhale, open for star. Exhale, squeeze and round in for this version of child's. So I also invite anybody to take a break whenever they need in a floating child's pose. If we're doing something, hugging the swing, squeeze the legs together, push the hips up, lean back. We're hooking with the forearms. Go ahead and lean back up even more, straight legs, toes touch. And then exhale, sink the hips down, open up to a T, straight up and down. Inhale, T, exhale, child's. Inhale, exhale, drop the hips and relax. One more time, inhale, T, exhale, child. Push the hips up and lean back. Now we can come into a version of ladle here. We're gonna reach up and grab for the swing. Let it slide down towards the waist. You just bring more weight into the crown of the head. Let the toes touch. Advanced pose in the sequence. So only reach back if it feels good. You can even hold on to the swing and just pull your toes towards the crown of the head and still get a good back bend or bow. If you can hold on to your ankles, lift the heart and extend both directions. Head rush. Yes. Your first free high. Really good, guys. Into our butterfly and skydiver. I'm going to show you how to do the high skydiver version because we're going to inhale, bicep curl, open the legs wide, wide straddle, exhale, squeeze the knees together. We're just loosening up the hip flexors. Inhale, lift, keep the head in line with the body. Exhale, squeeze. Inhaling, lift, lead with the heart. That's it. Let's stay here and see if we can balance. Drop the hips. Drop the hips even more, straight up and down. And if you can find your balance, you're going to bring your arms out to a T. That's it. So let's sit straight up and down for the first one, Barbara. Sink your hips back. That's it. That's the pose. Good. Now we can start rocking forward and rocking back and practicing getting over that little hump that's in the hips, right? There is a hump there. Now, when we lean forward, that's going to be really intense for some people. Then what I'll do is I'll come back. I'll reach up for the leg loops as high as possible. Yeah. And then I'll squeeze the legs together as I bicep curl and come to stand. So now we're in our high skydiver. And in our high skydiver pose, I also call these training wheels sometimes, it's going to hold most of our weight. So even if we're doing something and somebody needs a break, I'll have them come up to stand. That way the underarms are holding most of the weight. It's all in the groin. It has its medicinal benefits as well. So if we lean back, there's a space in between the swing, and then bring our hands to prayer at our heart. Not around the leg loop, but in that space in between. We push our hands forward, not a Y. So just notice, Deborah, that your head will come forward with your arms back. So the same thing when we flex, toes be at the back of the mat so you can push the hips forward. And now we're skydiving. Just bend a little from side to side. So look up the whole time in all these poses. We don't look down. So look up the whole time in all these poses. We don't look down. We look up. So we're going to stay next. Right? By your ears, let yourself slide in a little bit more like we did in 2A. And then you're going to lift our legs, bend the knees stay open wide, feet together. And this is push your feet into the ground. Go ahead and lift up and lean back. Let the legs slide to the knees. Last pose in this sequence, and then we'll go into 2B. Okay. So reach for the knees, sliding up the leg loops as high as possible. Inhale, bicep curl, wide straddle, balance. Get your hands in front of the leg loops in a T. So when we lean forward, when we lean forward, our hands stay in line with our shoulders. Beautiful. That's skydiver, higher diver. Yes, that's it. So we're going to press the chest down towards the floor as our head stays in line with our body. Opening up the shoulder, your elbows down, and your hands can come up. Their way. You just drop. And then come to the ground, pull your feet down, engage with your arms, and let yourself sink back. Let the swing. Beautiful. Come on back to chillaxin. Just feel what happened there. That was a big stretch. That's kind of as big as we get in a beginner class. And high skydiver is where most people will be until their shoulders and hips open up. But in time, that'll feel really good to come into the full pose. Not everybody loves to do full splits, right? So the straddle splits are not for everyone. As high as possible. Once we're there, we're going to go ahead and bicep curl, come on up. Try pushing both leg loops away, opening up into your hips, and you'll get there. Excellent. So you can be up here to begin, which is the hummingbird, and then you drop in for straight lines. That's beautiful. I know. Okay. So then we're going to bend the right knee. Roll on top of the left thigh. So roll your hip down towards the ground. Spread your hips towards ground. And then straighten your back. Right arm straight. Look up. Look up, because where your gaze goes, your energy flows. If you're looking up, then we can feel that lift in the spine. Okay. So this is a straight arm lunge. So we're going to go ahead and sink our hips back. Let's do that one more time. Pull yourself up. Bend the right knee. Roll that hip bone to the ground even more. Yes, so you shimmy onto the top of the quad. Okay, now we're going to try and lift the back foot. See if you can catch the inner. I can't do it. Well, that's okay. Just lift your foot. Hang out there, right? Work on that. There's some flexibility going on. If that is available, bend your elbow and grab and let the foot slide up to the elbow crease. And this is the full dancing Shiva pose. It is very challenging. Let's reset the knee. That's really intense. Let's go ahead and swagger from side to side to reset the flexors. Ooh, that was a big pose. Okay, now obviously most people are only gonna do a lunge and not grab the foot, but it's only for the 2 people, that want to grab their foot into their elbow crease that we do the full dancing Shiva. Okay, reach for the knees, slide up as high as you can, bicep curl, give yourself a lift, then bend the left, roll onto the top of the right. You have to set it up first, Barbara. I want you to watch here. If my hip is pointing down towards the ground, then when I lift my foot, it's going to touch the leg loop. Otherwise, if my hip is pointing forward, then the foot goes all the way back, and that's what was happening. Go straight up towards the sky, and for the leg loop. This is my leg. It's okay. Reach back and grab for the leg loop, or have your hand thumb up. Yes, that's it. Lift the gaze, lift the heart. So your heart is facing the wall instead of the ground. Yes, bend the elbow crease, slide the foot in if that's possible, and then you can balance for dancing Shiva. You don't get extra points, although it is a star. You get 1 gold star. It's in the cards. You don't get that. Okay, great. Go ahead and release. You're spring-loaded. 2 more. And then we get a break. So yeah, 4B is like a bonus round for those that really want to focus on the hips. And there are ways to modify them. And I'll show you how to do the modifications next, because we don't want to leave any triplets behind. And I noticed that when we do poses in class for somebody, they need something or someone, it's usually me. So yeah, so as high as possible. Bicep curl coming up to standing in the center of the mat for, what is this called? Okay, we're gonna take our right knee, we're gonna bend it and push the leg loop away. Right knee bends, just like we were for floating, but we have one leg grounded. From there, we can straighten the leg and come into what I call Hanuman, which is a very loose interpretation of Hanuman. But here we are, grabbing our foot. So anyone can grab their foot. There it is. At least that's 3, 4. Okay, come on back through chillaxing. Let's try to come into it from here. Left version, which is totally fine, and then press the arms straight. Yes. So foot at 9 and 3. Stay on that line of energy, that axis. From there, they can try straightening the front leg, bending, straightening, bending. Maybe that's as far as they go. This is called flying arrow when we actually fly. And then they can grab for the foot. So usually I'll show everyone this version, because when I do the show's over, kids. Okay, so then I'm going to straighten the front leg the whole time. Yeah. So then, that's flying arrow. Can you see it's like,
I have to kind of go back.
That's okay. I was talking to Deborah. Oh, yeah, just slow your roll so you're not all over the place. That means put your feet on the ground and get centered.
Me?
Yeah.
So we're not doing it.
I was just waiting for her. Yeah. Then you can grab for the front toes and come into Hanuman.
I'm feeling this.
Right there in high skydiver, almost done. Bring your hips towards the ground and the foot comes up. Keep squaring, lean forward, lean forward. Yeah, almost got it. It'll happen. Okay. Release. Second side, just stay in high skydiver or try that version I showed you. Bend the left knee, roll to the top of the right. Press the front arm away. There's this fun facility version. And we have really big swag in here, which is super fun. But then when you slow your roll, you can just put the brakes on. Okay. Straighten the leg, bend the knee, straighten the leg, bend the knee, flying arrow. You can do one arm and then both arms. Grab for the front toes. Beautiful. You can bend the back foot and then grab. That's it. We did it. Ta-da! Dancing Shiva sequence. Dancing Shiva, the pose, which is a pose sequence. Like we call it the down dog sequence or the forward fold, floating Buddha, that kind of thing. Okay, to review or go over one more time.
No, it's just all over my
You got all that? Everyone's good? 4? No. You guys can come back through your sumo. Just take a pause here, feel your new hips. Wow. I would say go ahead and see if they make sense. What's that? I'm happy to come back and review for a few minutes. Right now, it's just us for the workshop.
Is there a place close by again?